Bullying, a transaction between two parties where a larger subject in a snake-embroidered jean or leather jacket solicits money from a smaller, weaker subject against his or her will. Or at least, that was how it worked in the 1980s when David Hasselhoff and his Firebird still ruled the streets. But as the tired-old trend of interpersonal interaction rapidly declined in favor of digital communication, it seemed we couldn't drop the nasty trend of, well, being nasty to each other. In fact, the proliferation of harassment via information technology networks, such as hate-based websites, email slander campaigns, and threatening phone calls, had become frequent enough by 2004 that it led to a term to describe the experience of repeated and targeted digital abuse: cyberbullying. And as it turned out, this was just in the nick of time for the next great evolution of bullying: social networking. Social media changed the bullying landscape by giving people unprecedented access to the personal lives of, well, everybody. 74% of teenagers, according to the Pew Research Center. And once the networking services became ubiquitous with cell phones, it meant that bullies could access their victims at any time and place, from school to work to even home. In fact, approximately 1 in 3 teenagers report having experienced some form of cyberbullying. This is also according to Pew, including everything from having private messages shared without permission, false rumors spread, and even physical threats. So then, a common reaction from many who first encounter cyber harassment is to say, well, okay, I'll just unplug everything. This is easy. However, the emotional distress and stigma from bullying can follow a person far beyond their plugged-in experience, with victims exhibiting higher incident rates of psychological problems, depression, and substance abuse issues, according to research by the Cyberbullying Research Center. And because cyberbullying disproportionately affects teenagers, and this is according to Statistics Netherlands, there has been concern from organizations such as the US Department of Health and Human Services about the effects of this type of bullying on personal development and the possibility that it could cause emotional and behavioral issues later on in life. Thankfully, social media providers seem to agree that there's a problem, and things like page visibility only upon author approval and blocking for individual users have become near universal. Some services, such as YouTube's, take it a step further, letting users define what type of unwanted material they're reporting, from unsolicited to explicit or even violent and harassing speech. Or there's Twitch, which allows broadcasters to temporarily time out people instead of banning them outright, giving a chance for the perpetrator's behavior to be modified via social reinforcement. Which is not to say at all that these features are foolproof, as it is not uncommon for miscreants to game them by setting up dummy accounts or even abuse them by reporting people who have done nothing wrong. And efforts to legislate against cyberbullying haven't gone swimmingly either, with reports of online bullying continuing to rise, according to the Boston-based Education Development Center. On the bright side, campaigns like Stomp Out Bullying in the US and Delete Cyberbullying in the EU have led to a growing awareness and a drive for people to be proactive about this issue. Because while this hasn't been a very funny episode of Tech Quickie, it's kind of a serious issue. And if you or anyone that you know has experienced anything more than, the mildly irritating levels of online abuse that we all just seem to kind of accept, to the point where you feel like it's really having an impact on you, it's important to reach out to nearby support, because no one deserves that kind of mistreatment. And last but not least, take care not to be a griefer yourself. Speaking of support, you know who will support you through the whole process of integrating easy online payments into your app? Yep, that was a pretty beleaguered segue. Braintree. Basically, it's a payments API that is both easy and fast to deploy. Developers around the world have embraced the Braintree V.0 SDK as the easiest way to add secure mobile payments to their apps and websites. Braintree accepts Apple Pay, Android Pay, PayPal, Venmo, credit cards, and even Bitcoin. And if something new pops up, Braintree is going to try and support that too. They're used by Uber, Airbnb, and GitHub, and it's scalable. Integrating it into your app is as easy as inserting a few lines of code, and like I said before, if you're having trouble with it, they will help you out. So try it out in the sandbox. Learn more about Braintree and get your first $50,000 in transactions fee-free at braintreepayments.com/techquickie, linked in the video description. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, hit that like button. But if you disliked it, well, dislike it, I guess. Check out our other channels. Maybe you'll like them better. Channel Superfun's always got good stuff over there. Leave a comment below with suggestions for future Fastest Possible videos. If you just didn't like this topic, you want a different topic next time. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and follow and all that good stuff.